Nate's team started throwing punches at my security guards. My security guards dropped his team, and it just...
Gervonta Davis hit Jake Paul with a chair in their recent presser, but this, as Jake Paul calls it, will be revenged in the ring. In their face-to-face, Gervonta called Jake a huge piece of fat with no boxing skills, saying that anyone who thinks a bigger guy can automatically beat a smaller one doesn't understand boxing. Tank even made it clear that he's looking for a knockout, though that statement has only been met with more backlash. Fans and pros are saying he's crazy to think his power at lightweight can hurt a man nearly 60 pounds heavier. Even his own coach, Calvin, is expressing some concerns.
Tank looked very uncomfortable facing off. He just did. I've seen other face-off this Tank done. He gets in their face and they're intense and he looks good. He looked very meager up there. You've had 8 fights and you're gonna go tangle with Tank Davis. And the story instantly comes out. Jake is so much bigger. There is such a compliment to Jake within that insult. It is meant to be an insult.
Since their recent face-off back in New York, fans have noticed that Tank has been looking distant, irritated, barely interested, and now it seems they had to bring back the energy. When Jake Paul started throwing words at him, even going for Tank's personal life, Tank had enough and threw a chair at him, calling the fight personal. Jake Paul has joked about Tank's ankle monitors and handcuffs, bringing up Gervonta's past legal issues. This follows up a stunt nobody expected, where Jake had actual clowns walk onto the stage, pointing at Davis and saying, "Any man who puts his hands on a woman is a clown."
You want to see clowns? Gervonta, you're the clown, buddy. You're the clown, Gervonta. Any man who puts his hands on a woman is the clown.
But it seems this is just part of the Jake series ahead of Tank. Days after the New York presser, Jake had already posted a clip online that used artificial intelligence to make it look like he and Tank were kissing on the mouth. And clearly, according to Tank, someone may just be going too far with it. Some fans laughed, others said Jake crossed the line, and Tank's camp reportedly threatened to pull out of the fight.
Look at this face-off, Henry. What are your thoughts here?
You're hearing that shit from me. That's cringe. In some weird way, I kind of like
cringe about it.
He's trying to big man the smaller guy, who the smaller guy to me is dangerous. I think Tank Davis is going to put the hands on him, but I like it, bro. I will say something about Jake Paul. He's brought a lot of attention to boxing. Tank Davis guaranteed $40 million.
If you were in that position, would you?
Calvin Ford is already worried about the gloves. According to Jake's father, Gregory Paul, Tank's coach had requested smaller gloves for Gervonta, while Jake used the standard thicker ones. The idea was supposedly to make Tank's punches sharper and more dangerous, but to Jake's team, it just looked like a red flag. You already trying to play with rules because you know it's a bad matchup. Ford didn't deny the request, but said it was about fairness, claiming Jake's gloves don't feel right. The exchange made its way online and had fans wondering if Tank's team was losing confidence.
Bro, you can't be mad at somebody for doing what they feel is best for them.
Will it impact Tank's legacy if Jake Paul were like to beat him or even like knock him out?
Dude, Tank's a 3-division world champion, 4-time 3-division world champion. At the end of it, bro, you can't take anything away from him. Bro, you can't be mad at somebody for doing what they feel is best for them. It's the same way Roach feels.
And honestly, they might be. The weight issue hasn't stopped being a topic. When the host at the New York event said the fight would be at 195 pounds, Tank instantly corrected him. Nah, y'all said 190. You could see the frustration on his face. That small back and forth said a lot. He didn't even seem sure what the official weight was. For someone who's fought his entire career around 135, even 5 extra pounds can change everything, let alone 60. But Tank's not backing down. In multiple interviews, he said that weight doesn't mean skill. They always think size wins fights, he said. It doesn't. Power, timing, and heart win fights. And I got all 3. He keeps repeating that he's knocking Jake out, and maybe he believes it.
Pounds, a 5'7" wingspan. Tank fighting me would be a fairer matchup. We're basically the same size. And you wonder why fans think Jake's fights are rigged? Because every time we see some nonsense like this, it feels like WWE with boxing gloves. Here's the kicker though. Jake threatened to sue anyone who calls his fights rigged. Yeah, you know, the same guy who preaches freedom of speech now wants to ban opinions. After that clown show with Mike Tyson that left everyone scratching their heads. Maybe?
Calvin Ford, though, doesn't sound as certain. In a recent chat with the media, Ford said, "I just want Tank to get paid and get out safe. That's all." That single line says a lot about how seriously his corner is taking Jake's size advantage. Jake, meanwhile, is milking every ounce of attention. He arrived at the Miami presser in a Bugatti Chiron worth over $3 million, with Aiden Ross filming the whole thing. Tank rolled up in a black Ferrari SF90. Both were showing off, but Jake's confidence was louder. He told reporters, "I'm the bigger man, the better athlete, and the smarter businessman." Tank fired back, "You're a YouTuber pretending to be a fighter."
Man, I'm thinking about, Bigfoot versus Littlefoot. Andre the Giant versus Wee Man. Man, this is gonna be better than damn Circus on Lake. Yeah, they gonna look weird as hell in the ring together, man. You see how big Jake Paul is? 200 plus pounds? Man, I don't understand it. I don't get it. Yeah, the circus continues. This is why I can't stand damn Jake.
Mike Tyson has also praised Jake Paul's power heading into the Tank Davis fight, saying he was sore for days after facing him, though that might have had more to do with his age than Jake's punch. Still, coming from Tyson, that is huge. It gives Jake the credibility he's been chasing for years, especially now that he's trying to prove he belongs in real boxing conversations.
Legal problems in the last month or so and rumors about his retirement. I don't think it's a massive shock that he is taking this Jake Paul fight if it is going to go ahead, purely for the reason that it's a lot of money for maybe not the most difficult job that he's going to have in his career. So it's a strange one, but yeah, it's just another kind of day in the sport, really, isn't it?
Despite all the noise and controversy surrounding his career, Jake's not slowing down. The 28-year-old from Ohio keeps saying he's chasing a legitimate world title shot. Fighting Tank, even if it's big for publicity, doesn't really move him closer to that. It's an exhibition, not a sanctioned bout. The belts, rankings, and records don't count, but the money and attention definitely do. Jake's business partner and most valuable promotions co-founder, Nakasa Badarian, made sure to clarify every technical detail to shut down the confusion.
You do this when you're in your 40s. You don't do this now when people want Shakur, when you fall to a draw and Lamont Roach should be next. We get all of that. Let me tell you where I am. The fight is scheduled and it's going to happen. Now what?
According to him, the fight's official cap is 195 pounds, fully approved by the Athletic Commission. It'll run for 10 rounds, 3 minutes each, with both fighters wearing 12-ounce gloves. Sitting ringside will be 3 professional judges handpicked by the commission, meaning there'll be a real scorecard and a declared winner if the fight goes the distance. Both fighters are also under full USADA testing, just like in a standard world title fight.
And actually retired out of the sport because he's been, making claims saying that he's done and that he's about to retire. Basically, he doesn't want to do this no more. And I feel like, he got the big fight, and there's really no bigger fight than this. There's just no bigger fight than this, bro. At first, people were saying,
That announcement was meant to stop people from calling the event fake or staged, but it didn't. The word exhibition still hangs over it, and that's what's making a lot of boxing figures uneasy, especially guys like Paulie Malignaggi. Speaking of frosh on fighting, Malignaggi didn't hold back. He called the whole thing a circus, saying people aren't realizing what it actually is. "It's not a real fight, it's an exhibition," he said flatly. People talk about Jake setting up fights. I don't think he sets them up because if you fix a sanctioned fight, that's a federal crime. What he does is pick opponents that are either too small or way past their best.
But instead of giving us the rematch with Roach, he's going to fight Jake Paul. Now, this is where you have a chance to stand up as fans. Don't pay for it. Don't watch it. But we know that you're going to.
Then he dug deeper into this matchup. "This one's not sanctioned, so technically you can't even bet on it," he said. "That's the thing. When you make it an exhibition, you take away the gambling angle because they can't legally allow betting on something that can be staged. That's why they had to turn the Tyson fight into a real one, because people wanted to bet." He called it wacky, unpredictable, and a circus, basically implying this fight could end up being more of a spectacle than a real contest.
When you go get an actual real boxer, for real boxer, who is a knockout artist, who is still in his prime, and now you put him in this exhibition, this just shows me right now that the sport is officially gone, and the only hope we have is September 13th. Canelo and Bud Crawford.
Still, he did give a bit of insight into how it might play out if it's genuine. If they don't stage it, and it's not just a light sparring match, then Tank's got a chance, depending on glove size, Malignaggi said. Jake's probably 100 pounds bigger than him, which is a massive difference. If they use small gloves, Gervonta could hurt Jake if he catches him clean, but those same gloves also mean Jake could do serious damage to Gervonta because of the size gap.
But I think my thoughts on it is let's watch and see what happens.
Ryan Garcia said that boxing's turning into WWE.
Yeah,
with that type of matchup. What do you agree? Last thing, White House card, like he said, you want Conor McGregor?
Yeah, but the whole thing's at WWE. So
right.
Like, at least that's happening and getting something to talk about, something to watch. And
that size gap has been the biggest conversation since the fight was announced. Fans can't believe Davis agreed to go near 190 to 195 pounds, even if it's an exhibition. He's fought his entire career around 135. No one that small has ever crossed into cruiserweight territory against a full-size opponent before. Not seriously, anyway.
Guys boxing.
Maybe
Right.
so.
I just hope we get the Shakur fight before that moment. So for me, that Tank fight, I mean, as I understand it, Tank's fighting Jake Paul. Right. Which is the most bizarre thing ever, but I'm sure it'll do massive numbers. Right. And I don't know what'll happen with the Lamont Roach fight, but I just hope that...
Malignagi's point about the gloves wasn't random either. The official number is now 12 ounces, which is bigger than standard pro gloves, meaning less damage per shot, but more padding for both. That's good news for Gervonta because it gives him more protection from Jake's heavier punches, but it also limits how much power he can transfer from his smaller frame.
I mean, and you know what, PBC has to be called out in this too. They have one of the biggest stars in boxing, and they're putting them in this farcical fight, and they are struggling for survival. PBC, I mean, they are just falling apart. You know, the Pacquiao fight did terrible. You know, terribly promoted. You know, Pacquiao was hardly available. I mean, it was just that they were too cheap to hire Pacquiao's normal.
Jake, on the other hand, doesn't seem to care about any of those details. He's been selling the fight like only he can. He even went on the Double Coverage podcast and revealed there's a massive knockout bonus waiting for whoever finishes the other. He didn't name the number, but called it big, big money. He said, if someone gets knocked out, the winner gets a big, big check. Even if it's ruled a TKO, that bonus still counts.
Be an exhibition bout, it will not count towards their professional careers. The age is close. Jake Paul is 28, Gervonta Davis is 30, but the weight difference is massive. Paul has fought around 200 to 227 pounds. Davis dominated at just 135 pounds. Many expected Davis to fight Lamont Roach Jr. again, but instead he chose Jake Paul, a fight many say is more about money than legacy. Critics suggest
both fighters are going in with the intention to end it inside the distance. Jake said it himself. This isn't going to be one of those Floyd Logan things where nobody wins. Somebody's getting sleepy. And even though it's officially listed as an exhibition because of the weight difference, Jake insists that it doesn't take away from the danger. It's only an exhibition because he's like 70 pounds lighter, Jake said. But when we're in there, it's real. The punches are real. The knockout's real. He also made sure to keep his trademark psychological warfare going. When asked how he expects to win, Jake said it'll start with mind games. Gervonta's mentally weak in the ring, he claimed. As soon as things don't go his way, he starts to crumble. And things aren't going to go his way this time. He doubled down, saying, whatever he thinks is coming into that ring, whatever he's planning for, he's underestimating me.
Be an exhibition bout, it will not count towards their professional careers. The age is close. Jake Paul is 28, Gervonta Davis is 30, but the weight difference is massive. Paul has fought around 200 to 227 pounds. Davis dominated at just 135 pounds. Many expected Davis to fight Lamont Roach Jr. again, but instead he chose Jake Paul, a fight many say is more about money than legacy. Critics suggest
that comment echoed what a lot of people have said about Gervonta's composure under pressure. He's known for taking his time in fights, adjusting slowly before landing big countershots. But against a much bigger, more aggressive opponent, that patience could be dangerous. Jake's planning to use his size and output to force mistakes early. For Paul, this fight is about power and control. He already got Tyson's respect for how hard he hits, and now he wants to show that he can handle a top-level name like Tank, even in an exhibition. The real irony is that despite calling it just business, both fighters are treating it like a statement.
I think Jake wins.
Jake's just so big, dude.
I think Jake wins.
This is different because it's similar. It's similar to Logan versus Mayweather, but Jake Paul now obviously is way more advanced than where Logan was at that moment in time.
I mean, it's just, I mean, yeah, no, but dude,
Did
Jake.
You ever watch his highlights?
Jake can crack, man.
Davis wants to prove boxing is still boxing, that skill beats size and that pure technique still matters. Jake wants to prove he's no longer a YouTube fighter, that he can stand with actual world champions, even smaller ones. Neither of them wants to walk out of Miami looking embarrassed, which makes the entire setup even riskier.
The latter. But instead of giving us the rematch with Roach, he's going to fight Jake Paul. Now, this is where you have a chance to stand up as fans. Don't pay for it. Don't watch it. But we know that you're going to.
Shakur Stevenson has made his position clear. Jake Paul has no chance. The lightweight champion said it straight, zero chance, without any hesitation. For him, Gervonta Davis's skill, timing, and ring IQ completely erase any advantage Jake's size might give him. Stevenson doesn't think Tank needs to get reckless or chase a knockout. He just needs to box smart. Size will play some part, he said, but Tank can just outbox him. I don't see him knocking Jake out. It's a calm, confident take, the kind that comes from someone who's seen enough boxing to know power means nothing if it doesn't land. Stevenson imagines a measured fight where Davis picks his shots, frustrates Jake, and walks away with a comfortable points win.
Why?
I mean, I get it, because at the end of the day, it's the money business, and you want to make the most money, but from what I'm hearing, he can make more money in a fight with me, and if that's the case, why not fight me?
Sure. Do you think he beats Jake Paul?
Do I think he beats Jake? Yeah. I mean,
There's a huge size advantage, though.
it is, but I think Tank got the skills.
Sean Porter disagrees. The former two-time world champion says Tank's power is just too real to be neutralized by size. I'm betting on Tank by knockout, he said, laughing at the idea that Davis's smaller frame will matter. Porter's convinced that the fight won't last if Gervonta lands something clean. He's been calling it deceptive power, the kind that doesn't even look like much until the opponent's flat on the floor. That's the same punch that ended Ryan Garcia and Rolando Romero in dramatic fashion. Porter's logic is simple. Jake's a big guy, but still green defensively. Tank's been catching elite fighters for years. He believes one counter left hand will be all it takes. Terrence Crawford sees it differently. He's been around too long not to respect physics. Jake is too big for Tank, he said during an interview. If they really go at it, Jake could land one good punch and it's over. Coming from Crawford, a man who's climbed through weight divisions himself, that says a lot. He knows how much difference even 10 pounds can make, let alone 50. Crawford isn't doubting Tank's skill or toughness. He's pointing out what happens when a lightweight tries to brawl with a cruiserweight. It's not just strength, it's punch resistance, leverage, and how much punishment each body can take. To him, if Jake clips Davis clean, that might be enough.
I want to know what you think. You got
Personally, I think Tank too little, bro.
Yo,
I think Tank too little.
I'm so glad you have a brain on your shoulder.
I think Tank
The
too
way
little.
I said, bro.
I think Tank's too little. That's what I'm saying. That weight class is for a reason.
Davis
That weight class is for a reason.
5'5", 135 pounds. Jake Paul is 6 feet, 205 pounds.
That's what I'm saying.
Bro.
He's too
6'1",
little.
205. Everybody's like, yeah, bro, but Tank it only takes one good punch.
Terrence Crawford is still buying into the idea that Gervonta Davis can just walk through Jake Paul. He's one of the few top fighters openly saying that Jake's size could genuinely end this fight. Jake is too big for Tank, Crawford said. If they really go at it, Jake could land one good punch and it's over. Coming from a man who's moved through weight classes his whole career, that opinion carries weight. Crawford knows what it feels like to face naturally bigger opponents, the difference in power, the way a punch lands heavier, the body shots that drain you faster. To him, this isn't about who's more skilled. It's about what happens when physics meets pride.
Jake Paul versus Tank Davis, they just announced the fight. What's your instant reaction to that?
I don't know what's going to happen with a 135-pounder going up against a 200-pounder. I think it's not a real fight. Jake just too big. Tank ain't gonna be able to get in from that jab. Jake land.
Crawford's point is that Davis is fighting too far above his natural class. A lightweight jumping into the ring with someone who's fought at cruiserweight isn't bravery, it's risk. Jake doesn't have Tank's experience, but he's got that one-shot power, Crawford added. That's what makes it dangerous. Crawford isn't hating, he's warning. The fight may sell as entertainment, but from a fighter's lens, he sees a mismatch that could turn ugly fast if Jake's right hand lands clean. Well, what do you think? Share your thoughts below and subscribe for more.